How are we looking with the Red Sox, Mazz?
It's been quiet so far, and they've been linked to a bunch of different people out there. But what has me most concerned is something John Morosi reported yesterday that, hit a nerve. And that is, and I'm paraphrasing, but Morosi was talking about Alex Bregman and Pete Alonso and how the Red Sox are in on both of those players. And he was handicapping their odds for a successful offseason. And he said something to the effect of, if they could sign one of those two guys and a pitcher, that would be a successful offseason. And I heard that and said, one of those two? One. No. They need two. Because they lost Bregman, they have to replace Bregman and add one. They don't get to count Bregman coming back as a bat. That is no good. They weren't good enough at the end of the year, and I know Roman Anthony was out. They were still short in the lineup. Even with Roman Anthony in there in the second half of the season, as Alex Cora recently pointed out, their offense was different, and they hit fewer home runs in the second half. Amid all this talk about how runs in the World Series were produced via the home run, and I don't have the stat in front of me, but a large percentage of runs in the postseason, let alone the World Series, were produced via the home run. They need more power in the middle of the lineup. That's two bats. That's not one. And yet, I now feel, so ultimately what I would constitute as a good offseason for the Red Sox, Mike, is two bats and a starting pitcher at the front end. So that's three good players if you want to be World Series caliber. The way Morosi said it is a pitcher and a hitter, one of each. And to me, that doesn't quite get it done, and it tells me two things. One, they're not going to extend financially to go get those players. And two, they're still banking on the development of some of their young guys, and the ones that I would emphasize are Christian Campbell and Tristan Casas. Both of those guys, we look at it and say, well, who the hell knows what you're going to get there? And they don't look at it that way, and that scares me.
Well, it speaks to the financial clamps. That was the term that was used last week by Jeff Passan, right, on Craig Breslow. Like, this sucks, but I'm not surprised because I don't expect them to be the Red Sox of old ever again. They run this operation like it's the Minnesota Twins.
And last week at the GM meetings, Breslow was asked, could you sign two bats when he was talking about the options on offense? And he said, we could. I think we're going to be open to every conceivable path to improving the team. So I heard could, and I read unlikely. So that's just me. Because I now that might be a me problem. But I read the word, well, we could.
Parenthetically, in a perfect world.
Right, meaning not our preference. We would rather have one pitcher and one hitter. I think it's going to be two. I don't think it's going to be three. I hope I'm wrong, but I still question how far they're willing to put their money where their mouths are.
Stu, you have a thought about where the Red Sox are headed this offseason or the options they have?
Yeah, I feel like it's going to be more trades. Like John Henry and Tom Warner, they're all in on Major League Baseball and these labor issues that are probably going to shut down the 2027 season. So I don't think that they're going to go out and hand a long-term contract to Bo Bichette, Alex Bregman, Pete Alonso, anything. It's going to be more trades, and it's trading Duran. It's trading Abreu. It's trying to do something that's financially smart and doesn't bring them back over that tax threshold.
I mean, it might have something to do with the lockout. I think if they're playing that game, they're not going to sign anybody.
And they don't want to.
So, but they're going to have to do something, Jimmy, because there's always the possibility that that thing does get settled. And if it gets settled and you're left with your pants down, you look like a bunch of a-holes.
But if John Henry's in on this, he knows the timeline of what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So they're going to wait until the absolute last minute before they have to spend any money or commit any long-term dollars.
And I think it's Henry more than it is Warner. Henry's the one that gets involved with the labor negotiations. He's the one that would like some sort of change in revenue sharing or a salary cap. And so you're asking me, if you're asking me, is John Henry willing to go to the mat for a strike or a stoppage? I have felt that way for a long time.
Don't you think he absolutely is that guy?
Yes, absolutely is right. And again, I'm going back years on that.
And what do you think is more important to him right now? This is a rhetorical question. I think we all know the answer. What's more important to him right now? Getting a new labor deal in place with the salary cap or the Red Sox winning at a high level?
The salary cap.
It's not even close.
Yeah. And
I mean, not even close.
Yeah,
right.
No.
The second thing I don't even think is a consideration.
I would agree.
I mean, he'd take the second thing. But
it's so frustrating though, because the Red Sox are number 5 in revenue and like 28 in actual expenses towards players. It's insane that you have an owner here who wants salary fairness in his sport. Like, no, you have a financial advantage. Use it. Win championships. Make more money.
I agree, Jimmy.
Thank you.
I mean, it's the whole advantage of being in a market like this is you have spending power that the other teams don't, or most of the other teams don't. So use it. Use it. That's the whole point. If you're going to be 12th in payroll, 14th in payroll, well, then you're sacrificing that advantage to most teams that you had an advantage over. You should be in the top 5 every freaking time. You should be right there with Philadelphia and Toronto. You want to tell me that you can't spend with the Yankees, the Dodgers, and the Mets? Okay, fine. That might be true. That's probably true. But the other ones, you should be right there.
again, to sum up, it's Alonso or Bregman.
That's what Morosi said.
And Rob Bradford yesterday mentioned Bo Bichette.
Is it Bregman, Bo Bichette, or Pete Alonso, one of the three? Or
My guess is it's one of those three in a pitcher.
is Bo Bichette, is he unrestricted in his first free agent year?
Yes.
So he's going to smoke.
He's going to get a big contract.
Not here, he's not.
I don't think so either.
No way. Bradford said Bo Bichette?
He did, and the theory is that that's being used as leverage against Alex Bregman.
Yeah, no, right. I mean,
But Bo Bichette is 28.
is
He can
anyone
play
taking that
second, third, or
seriously?
short.
No.
Is anyone taking Bo Bichette seriously?
No.
I mean, not that he's the greatest thing since sliced bread, but you're going to outbid 29 other teams for a premium free agent? Stop it. You're going to outbid other teams if Tarek Skubal is really on the market.
Please.
Oh, please.
You're
That's
gonna
not happening.
you're gonna outbid everybody in terms of prospect capital and contract because it's going to take both.
Correct. To get Skubal, that's what it's going
He's
to
going to
cost.
take both because he is, unless he gets the contract he's looking for, he's not going to agree to a trade or he's going to pitch a fit or whatever. You're going to need his cooperation, meaning a contract. So can anyone with a straight face try and get you to believe the Red Sox are going to do that for Tarek Skubal or what it would take for Bo Bichette? Maybe Alonso at his age and full-time first baseman, Mazz, or is he more of a DH at this point?
I would say half and half.
Okay.
To start, he'll be half and half.
But the projections for Bo Bichette are 8 years, $240 million.
No
the
shot.
projection for Pete Alonso is 7 years, $175.
Okay.
And I bet it comes in a little less.
Yeah.
And Bregman's at 6 and 180.
Okay, so if it starts with a 1, maybe you'll get one of those guys. Skubal and Bichette are going to be $200-300 million
Yeah,
guys.
no chance.
Those days are over.
But they're
And
going
again,
to
and the problem with Bichette, because he's 28, it could be a 10-year deal.
get their friendlies in the media to put that out there, and they'll take meetings. We've been through this dance before. They did it with Juan Soto. How close do you think they really were with Juan Soto?
Not very.
The Grand Canyon away from Juan Soto. But
I might even say the distance between here and the Grand Canyon.
the distance between here and Mars. And you know what my next line is?
I'm going Pluto.
Here and Uranus. Okay? That's how far. But they took a meeting. They made some calls. They let some media people know about it. And the next thing you know, they get some headlines that they're in on Juan Soto. No way. No shot. Same with Skubal for sure. Bichette, I don't even, I guess if that's you're telling me what his market is, no way. No way. And what position does Bichette play?
He would have to play third here in all probability. He plays short.
He played second in the World Series.
Yeah, but he's not a good shortstop. I mean, he makes a lot of sort of sloppy. He's a good athlete,
Yeah.
but he makes a lot of sloppy, stupid
Oh, he's a
errors.
perfect Red Sox. He can
Yeah,
get
well,
to
that's
baseballs
true.
he can't field them.
That's a fair point, Jimmy. Yes, he would fit in nicely. He also swings a lot. Now he hits for average. They could use that. He'll make some contact. But he doesn't really seem to fit to me what they would want offensively.
Because he's talented?
No, because he got a high batting average, but for what he hits,
Yeah, does he have any pop?
he's got some power. Yeah. I mean, he's a 20, 25 home run guy, but he's not a 35 home run guy.
But
He's
you
not
add
that.
him to the Red Sox stealing signs and a program, he can get to 35, 40.
That's true. When you factor in the exchange rate of stealing signs, his power will probably go up by 10%.
The whole conversation's moot. They're not going to.
No.
Okay, so it's just not happening. You know it's not happening. Especially in Stu's right to bring it up. The whole labor thing hanging over their heads. You got a lockout staring them in the face after 2026. The owners apparently are going to go to the mat for a salary cap. John Henry, this is important to him. He's been bitching about the financial system, the economics in baseball for years. He thinks it's extremely, and he's right, it's very unfair to the big market teams like him. It's unfair if you're just really, that cost conscious. It's unfair. If you just care about winning, then it's not unfair. It's actually to your advantage. But economically, I can see his frustration. He's got to hand billionaire owners in Kansas City and Milwaukee checks every year for trying not to win. Like, that would annoy me too. Like, I get it. But that's the most important thing to John Henry.
I would think so.
Not winning at a high level. This labor negotiation is his number one priority. It's like it used to be with Jacobs until he got his salary cap in the NHL. And then actually, I think the ownership improved once he got his salary cap. They started spending to it. And once he got his cost certainty, I actually think things improved for the Bruins. Maybe it's the same thing coming for the Red Sox. I mean, maybe that's where we're at, that John Henry's closer to Jeremy Jacobs' pre-salary cap than anything. And once Henry gets his salary cap, you can expect him to spend as much as anyone's allowed to, like the Bruins do. It's a different topic. The topic now is, right now, what are they most concerned with? Building the best team they possibly can to win a championship this year, or the labor disagreement?
Labor, cost control.
Labor. So it would also be a horrible sign for him to go out and overspend on Tarek Skubal, go ahead and overspend on Bo Bichette, overspend on these players, and have a big bloated luxury tax, and then go to the table in the next offseason and say to his fellow owners, we have to control costs. He's got to walk the walk and talk the talk. You know what I mean, Mazz?
It's a good point.
You're not doing Jackson this offseason. Maybe
they'll do a little something.
you might do Jack, but you're not doing Jackson. You get to pick one. You don't get multiples.